have to do this stuff. I was just finishing choosing my top 9.
Oh no.
Some girls are placeholder girls.
So
okay, so should we start?
Yeah, you wanna talk about your top 9?
Or should we say that for the beginning or the end?
Man, a lot happened because this is a 2-hour show. But let's just talk about the show first. So we can get to the top 9.
Okay, first let's introduce this podcast.
Whew.
Okay, hi guys, welcome to the Planet Guardian podcast with our hosts Aneesa and me, Robbie. We'll be talking each week about each episode regarding Girls Planet 999, what we think about it, how we're feeling, and we'll also share our top 9 each episode, which will probably change throughout the whole series. But we're excited. We're both K-pop fans. Both of us have been K-pop fans for over 13 years. So we've seen it all. We've both been fans of the produced series. So this, to us, is season 5. So we're just going to talk about stuff. And we hope that you join in the conversation in the comments. We're going to reply. And it should be a lot of fun. Our main goal is to essentially make a community where international fans can come together and talk about the show. So we're hoping that we actually build this community and just start conversing with each other. You don't have to have the same opinions as us. You can disagree. We welcome that. And we're both really messy. So this is going to be really fun. Anything to add?
No, I think that was perfect.
Great. Okay. Do you want to open up your question or should I?
Yeah, you should start first.
Okay. I have a notebook here, a little notepad. So
I have my phone.
Okay, cool. Which girl stood out from each performance, if any performance, and what performance was your favorite?
Okay. Let me think about these performances and which girl stood out.
You want me to answer it first and then you go after?
Yeah, you answer first. Give me a second.
Out of the first set of girls. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to say honorable mention to the girls that sang that really dry Dia song. They were in white dresses. They didn't show the whole performance and I can't find it. But they were J group girls, and they were singing that slow song that it was real cute. And they're like, "Wow, your vocals are stable." I can't find the full performance. But
were they wearing all white?
They're wearing all white dresses. I think it was the Dia song where Chaeyoung wasn't a part of. I might be wrong, but it was real cute, and I like that. But that's just a special shout out to them because they didn't show the full performance.
Mm-hmm.
But the full performance they showed, I like. The 2 J group girls that did Dum Dee Dum Dum.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was really good.
That was really good. She what's her name? What is her name? Hold on.
Is it Mashiro, right? Sakamoto, I think is her name.
Yes, Mashiro. Yeah, Sakamoto. Yeah, she was really good. Okay, back to yeah, she was really good. And so was her partner. I don't remember her name though. And it's going to be really unfortunate because people are going to, that JYP buff is going to help her out. And also her vocals were more unique versus her partner.
True.
Now, here's the deal. Here's my opinion. she was shaky. In the live form, she's like, I got you know. I'm not a singer, but that's what she was giving me. She was really shaky, but maybe that was his nerves. But what I will say is shaky live, but in the booth, that voice will be great in the group.
Absolutely. And that's what matters at the end of the day.
Yes, because also there's a lot of Love Eyes one, but I wish there's vocal variety in that group.
Yeah.
Whereas if they had a girl with a more raspy tone, if Kang wasn't rigged out, the group might have had more vocal flavor, variety. And I think having a girl, I'm going to call her by her last name. I need to keep it up. Oh, what's her? Where's she at? Where my girl at? Sakamoto, I think would be really helpful. Would be extremely helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my favorite performance, and who stood out from that. That was the best one. From my opinion.
So for me, This is kind of like a personal thing, and I kind of feel like it has nothing to do with the show, low key.
Okay.
But I actually really like the KDA group, and I actually just rewatched their performance.
They weren't bad.
Yeah, they weren't bad. I do have a lot of opinions about that performance.
Please, I'm gonna go on mute and you go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So it's gonna start getting a little bit shady now. Actually, a lot of it shady. So remember how we were talking about how the K Center wasn't giving us anything?
Oh yes.
Yes. So that performance, I was expecting something, but I feel like she's the perfect example of a Korean trainee who is like perfect in dancing, and her singing is great and her rapping is great, but
Relax.
yes, she is still lacking. Like, I don't know, there's something about her that's just missing. She's not there. It's just not there. Like, I can see how she got number one because everything about her is great, but yet there's something there that she just doesn't have.
Was the girl that stood out to you Suyeon?
I don't know her name, but she had like a really, really nice voice. Like, it was really nice.
Was she the one with the orangey hair?
Yeah, I think it was like blonde or orange. I think it was her.
She was my standout from that one as well.
Yeah. I feel like.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I feel like out of most of the performance of what we've seen so far, I really, really liked her voice, and I was like, every single one of her parts were the killing parts for me. I was like, she did that.
She wasn't perfect, but she was good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's parts where she was like maybe out of breath, so something maybe fell flat. But again, like that's like normal, and like she's only gonna get better in time. Also off topic, but still on topic. Shout out to the girl that hit the high note in Black Mamba, because they did her really dirty. Because if you watch the full performance on YouTube, not the one they edited for the show, her voice cracked, but it wasn't that bad. But when you watch the show, she's like, hey, and I'm like, oh dang, she really did that bad. But when you watch the full performance, it's like, oh, I mean, it wasn't that bad,
I feel like this is the thing. Like, if you just watch the performance, I agree. She like on YouTube. If you watch it on YouTube, actually, I think that she did good. But my thing is that Ning Ning is my bias in aespa, and when I was like, you shouldn't compare them, but I was comparing them, and I was like, she was like, Ning Ning is like way up here, and she's way, 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 way down here, because Ning Ning carries the note like practically into the introduction of the dance break.
Is it really fair to compare her to
Ning Ning? That's the thing, is not fair, and I know that it's not fair, but even when I'm rewatching it, I'm just like, I just can't like it because I just can't.
I'm not saying it was great. I'm just saying they did her dirty because it wasn't as bad as they portrayed it to be. Now, on the flip side, that girl that performed Boa Black was not great. The one that she was from J Group, and she performed solo, and she performed Boa's song Black, but she performed it by herself. Oh, and they're like, wow, that was on a professional level. And I'm like, wow, I should really watch this. And I'm like, she's a great dancer, and like she hit some notes great, but that was at the very end. There was only one run she did really well, and everything else was like, wow, this is bad. And it wasn't bad entertaining. It was just like, I can't get any enjoyment because you're taking this so seriously. Maybe that's just me.
Honestly, I started watching that performance and I got like 10 seconds in and I was like, all right, this ain't it. I was just like, all right. I was like, this is why they cut it out of the episode, because we ain't got time for this.
They praised her. She's like, oh, like I'm that good. She's like, it's so professional. I'm like, maybe it was a dance coach. I was like, wow, you're great. But that thing was not where it needed to be. And everyone in the comments on YouTube were like, she has so much potential. And I'm like,
potential?
Now, we'll talk about girls that have potential. Ooh. You know how my favorite girls are.
Well, when we get to our top 9, I'll talk about that. But I will say that one of the performances they cut out, Fiesta, there was someone that stood out to me in that group.
It was a Fiesta performance?
Yeah, they performed Fiesta. IZ*ONE.
Because that Violetta group was not giving it. It was not giving.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was Violetta. Okay. I thought it was Fiesta. It was not Fiesta.
I was like, I didn't enjoy any of them from that group.
It was kind of dry, but someone did catch my eye in that group. It wasn't kind of dry. Let me stop lying. It was actually very dry. No, she's not crunchy.
Oh, okay. Because I have one crunchy girl in my top.
Oh no.
No. She lives in my head rent free now.
Goodness. Oh, actually, okay. So I wrote down a comment that I wanted to say that when I was watching the Chinese Center's performance, Shen Xiaoting or whatever, however you say her name, I wasn't expecting her to rap. So when she started rapping, I was like, oh, okay.
I have a comment about her. All her members were bad. And the only reason, sorry, I don't want to hate. But I wonder if she had a singing part, how would she fare? Because there's a lot of rappers and groups that do not sing.
Yep.
But there's a lot of rappers and groups that sing rap. And I think there's those that do that really well. I mean, taking out the bullying aspect, and we don't know whether she bullied or not, because then it came back and blah, blah, blah. But my girl AOA, Miss ALA. What's her name? Jimin. She does that sing rapping really well. So does Henna. Like, these girls do it really well, but she didn't sing rap. She gave attitude, which you need in K-pop. But who originally did the rap in Rumor was Choan from Like Some. And we know she can sing and rap. We don't know what the Chinese Center can sing and rap.
She was in Chuang, but the only thing that I remember after her in Chuang was her dance performance. I don't remember and I remember when she did, I think she had a solo moment before the real competition really started, and her dancing was beautiful, but I don't even remember what her performance, her singing was at all.
And I'm okay if she can't sing, but I just think it's unfair for her to be judged based on her rap when everyone else did vocal. I feel had maybe someone from her group did rap and she did vocal, would things have been a little different for her, but my favorite from that group was not her.
The thing about it is that if she sang, I think that she would have been okay.
Right.
But would they have given her the top nine?
Top 9.
Yeah, I don't know.
Her impact wouldn't have been the same, maybe.
Exactly.
But my favorite was not her from that group.
Who was it? I need to go back and
watch my favorite from that group is going to be controversial.
I'm so scared. Wait, hold on. Oh, goodness. I'm so scared. You should know
because I shared her with you.
You did?
Yes.
Wait, who?
We'll talk about it in my top 9.
Honestly, I wasn't checking for anyone in that group because Shen was already in my top 9. So I was looking at her.
But you remember the girl who asked, "Ooh, the crunch is good."
Not the crunch, not the crunchy one. The one who's oh.
She said,
"Oh my god."
She said, "Wink." I said, "Oh, great."
No, bro.
I said, "Oh my god."
No, but she was cute though. She was
right,
cute.
and I'm like, you know what? What's her name? I don't want to say her name until we get to my top 9. But just give her. She doesn't have to be the best vocalist. She just has to sing on key.
She doesn't even need to sing on key. I mean, look at Homegirl and Bon Bon Girls.
Well, no, she's my face. But I think she starts to sing on key now. Yefan?
Oh, now? I guess they gave her more training.
She sings on key. She doesn't have many lines. And that could be for this. And she's cute too.
You're right. Oh no, this is
here's the deal. Here's the deal. She's a good visual.
She is.
And on top of that, she's tall. She has good skin. She's cute. And when you saw her performance from OOO to now, when they gave her the Central Rumor, she leveled up. Her dancing got better. And the thing is with K-pop, I think, forgive me to the fans, but I think dancing and they prefer everyone to be decent dancers. Yeah. Not everyone has to be the best vocalist. What's her name? I can't pronounce it well. I'm going to put it on screen, but she's in my pick. What's her name? Where she? Where my girl at? Chen Kiwi, I think. Hsinwei.
Okay, yeah. I think you said it close enough.
She's top tier. Top tier. The moment she said over, I said, oh.
You said it's over. You said it's over.
I said, yes, oh. You won.
Your top 9 is going to be filled with crunchiness.
Not all of them are crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I think 2 of them are crunchy. You're right.
You're like, let me review the crunchiness.
One of them is a filler member right now, but she's there strictly for her visual. Nothing else. And one actually was not a part of my top 9. You're not going to be very surprised I add her, but she's also filler. Okay, let's go on to my second question. Each season of Produce has a theme or vibe with their trainees. They cast. What theme or vibe are you getting from the current trainee cast that they have arrived? They're showing us right now. Like, what do you think this group will become with, like, depending on majority of the girls that are like available now?
It's hard to tell because, like, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I feel like it'll be easy to tell after we see everyone's reaction to the first stage performance, you know? Yeah, because I feel like in every Produce series, they're going to show you like the really fierce girls on the first episodes because they have to show us the dances that are like, you know, to get your interest into the show. But then it's like once they're on stage, and then also once they have like professional makeup and like the matching outfits and everything, it's going to be totally different.
Right. And you know what's funny? And I'm wondering, they're showing a lot of these girl crush girls right now.
Yeah.
But I've been, oh, Jesus Christ, a Produce fan for 5 years, and I've noticed Mnet makes groups that are easy to listen to.
Yeah.
And I also think Mnet is smart. They're not gonna put a group in that they're not gonna put a group together and make them do something that the market is oversaturated. Think of IZ*ONE, think of IOI. First off, IOI was quintessential 3rd generation girl group. Like quintessential. Like, I think, to me, they set the bar. Like, Twice is doing their thing, but like, if you listen to their albums, like their many albums, and you listen to all the C-tier girl groups, they all kind of had those like all the B tracks. I'm like, oh, I'm still on the IOI B track. I think they were right up top tier of like 3rd gen girl groups. Whereas IZ*ONE, which is 4th gen, they filled the gap, like much different from IOI. There wasn't a girl group that was doing elegant, feminine like they were.
Exactly.
Which is a total turn from the super sugary sweet groups, which there weren't really much of at the time, and all the hard, like fierce girl crush groups that are kind of like the thing now. And IZ*ONE kind of did their own thing. And I thought that was really smart. And I think they left a gap in the market. Now, I don't think the Girls' Planet is going to make a group similar to IZ*ONE, but they're going to fill that void with something unique.
I'm hoping that I really liked IZ*ONE's concept because I feel like even now, no one's doing that style of concept. If people are doing something new, it's pretty much just going to some different flavor of girl crush. Like Tri B is still girl crush, but now they just have a lot of colors. Like, it's still girl crush.
Well, they use different instruments, which make it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. It's still a little bit more flavorful.
Right.
So, well, it would be nice. No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I said, I think WJSN was the only group that did something IZ*ONE-esque with Unnatural.
Yeah.
I feel, honestly, that was probably a track that was given to IZ*ONE, and IZ*ONE said no.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in my mind, not confirmed. Just like.
But I can see that, though.
Right. So we'll see how this group shapes up, but I feel like, I think a lot of the girl crush like trainees will not make it to the second round.
I absolutely agree. And to be honest, I wouldn't want them to anyways, because I like girl crush, but we have enough of that. We don't need, I feel like in this episode, they showed us like a lot of rappers and fierce concepts. Like we don't need that right now. We don't need all of them.
There's a lot of it. And I wonder if the girls that are so fierce like Yanning in her little group, I don't see her able to blend and switch over to a more feminine
absolutely not
concept. And I think like ISO and IOI, their main thing was feminine.
Yeah.
And I don't see Mnet putting up like a girl crush group out there.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to compete with the G Idols and the Blackpinks, and I don't think they want to be in that scope.
And this is the other thing about Girl Crush. I feel like other concepts are more flexible than Girl Crush, because I feel like once you do a Girl Crush concept, it's hard to branch out. But if you start with like a cute or innocent or pure or whatever, that kind of section of concepts, you can really branch out into a bunch of different other things. Like, because the first thing that comes to mind is A Pink, because I think they started as really cute, but now they're not really that cute. But I can't imagine, like, let's say any Girl Crush group in this moment making a song like the last 3 songs that A Pink made. I can't imagine Girl Crush to that style. You know what I mean?
I want to add on the A Pink thing. A Pink started as innocent, but pure feminine.
Yeah.
And then they went from like grown woman feminine.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Do you want to have your like question to pose, or do you want me to do
another one? No, you can do another one.
Okay.
I think you had the same questions anyways, so.
Oh, really? Okay. How do you feel about the judging? Do you think that they are giving their bias to some trainees versus others, or do you think it's pretty fair?
I think that
so far at least.
So far, I think there is a bias, but it's nowhere near as bad as Produce 48's. And this is why. I think that Produce 48 put an image of how Korean trainees should be and how Japanese trainees should be. So I think that the standards for Japanese trainees are still down here. Like, even though we saw some good groups, and I don't know the order that they watched it like live, but you see some good Japanese girls, and then you're like, okay, they did so amazing. Even though they're just good, they did so amazing because the expectations were the bar was set so low because of Produce 48. And then now China is kind of in like an awkward area where they're like, well, should we have the Korean expectation, the Japanese expectation? So even though a lot of the Chinese girls did terrible, I feel like some of the Chinese girls, they should have gotten the top 9 opportunity, while some of those Japanese girls should not have.
That's interesting, because I have a follow-up question for that. But I would say, for me, I think the judging is, compared to other producers, a lot more fair. I think Tiffany and Sumi have been giving really good, constructive criticism.
Definitely.
I don't too much really care for what the vocal and dance master has to say, because I feel like Tiffany and Sumi are both masters of dance and vocal. Like, in terms of like K-pop, like they are really K-pop masters. Like, they've been doing this for the same amount of time, more or less. They both debuted around the same year.
Yeah, they're good at finding star quality.
Exactly.
Like, the masters can tell you your technique and blah blah blah. Right. But especially Sunmi is really good at pointing out. She's calling it aura, but it's the star quality. It's like the charisma, the charm.
Right. And I like how they balance each other.
Yeah,
they're really good. I'm so glad I wrote this question, because now how you answered it makes it a good follow-up. From the K, C, and J group, which group surprised you the most, and which group, which was like they're really good, and which group was like, I expected more out of them?
I think the C group is the group that I expected more, even though I just said, they did pretty good. I still expected more from them.
Right.
But the thing about the C group is that I feel like there's a lot of pressure in terms of the politics of coming from China.
You
know what I mean? So I don't remember who said it. It was either Tiffany or Sunmi. One of them was like, you guys are like on stage, but you're so obvious that you're so nervous that you can't enjoy your performance or something. They said something like that. And I'm just like, well, I don't blame them, because like the Japanese girls have already been there. Not them literally, but in terms of
like the
Japanese.
The foot has already been like in the door.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's already happened. But now this is China's first time coming in, and then that added with the political pressure. Like I feel like there's just more pressure for them. So I don't know. That's why. Yeah.
But it makes me annoyed how the girl seasons are always the pioneers for the next season.
Exactly.
Because I feel, and I'm getting annoyed. I do not want a boys' planet, even though there's probably going to be a boys' planet. Yeah. It's going to make the boys' planet so much easier. And they're probably going to have a 3.5-year contract, which again is misogyny. But like the boys are going to have like much easier time. Like I wonder which of the C group trainees are going to get in this group versus like watch next season and how like more deserving trainees from the C group is going to be like, oh, okay. But we're going to see like, as you said, like in our conversation beforehand about like how Reddit, the Chinese Reddit is like, they're strategically choosing which trainee they should vote for because they know how K netizens will react. And they're like saying, okay, we don't really need our pick, just a pick. I think next season they're going to be more open-minded, but that's just how I feel. Now, my opinions, I think the C group, I expected them to be because I saw so many youth with you girls and so many strong girls. Fierce. However, I think Mnet casted how they wanted to cast. I think they chose, like, for example, the twins. For example, cute girls. But I think a lot of us expected the C girls to be
Yeah.
Like my girl from Rumor, the center, who I actually do want in the group now. We'll see how far she goes. I wasn't expecting Mnet to cast a girl like that from the C group. And I also think they purposely casted the J group to be stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I think they wanted to do a juxtaposition. Oh, sorry, fuck you. Go ahead.
No, you can continue. I was just agreeing.
Okay. And I think they wanted to do a juxtaposition from Produce 48 and show like, wow, this is this. But also let's be mindful. Also to remember, AKB48 girls, not all of them had the dream of being K-pop idol. That was an opportunity that kind of opened up to them. But these girls, majority of them have been fans of K-pop for years. So they're going to learn the K-pop covers and dances. And they even have ex-trainees or former trainees from Korean entertainment companies. So the vibe is going to be much different. Like, hold on, what's her name? I want to make sure Lisa get her last name. Sakamoto from JYP. Like, she's a J group trainee, but in reality, she had K group training.
Yeah.
So it's different. And she's not the only one. Like, there's a girl from Jellyfish, which, they birthed Gugudan and Sejong and all that stuff. But she's listed as a J group trainee, but she has K group training. So it's different versus the C group. The training there in China is just different. And like, Aneesa and I will talk all the time about how there are certain things that will fly in Chuang that will not fly in a Korean produced season. It's just how it is. And we're not saying they have low expectations there. They just have different standards. Like, I don't, like, if Yifan from Bon Bon Girls was in a produced series, I do not see her making it far.
Definitely not.
I just don't see her allure would not have worked. Now my girl from Rumor now asked their story, but anyway, point being, that's how I feel. Okay, now your turn. You can pose some questions.
Man, what was the last question that you asked? Because I wanted to add like one more thing to it.
Oh, I said from the KCJ group, which group wowed you, like, oh, and which group was like, oh, really? Like, I was expecting more. Like, that was like where
okay. Well, did we already talk about our favorite performance? Do you want to talk about any?
But you can add on. You can add more into that.
Yeah, I want to talk about a performance that shocked me, which
in a bad way. Are we talking about Twinkle?
In a good way. Let me start with the good way first. So, I mean, I guess it shocked everyone else, but our homegirl, the actress with the short hair, her group that did 4 Minute, they were beautiful. They were so really beautiful. Good. I was like, mwah. I was also worried because I was like, she's an actress and they're all kind of young. I don't know, for a minute, like maybe my mindset before they performed was, I bet they can sing the song and like do the rapping, but I feel like the dancing and like the presence and everything, not the presence, but I thought the dancing was not going to be there because she's an actress. So I was like, she's going to kill it.
I saw her solo focus, and I thought she was a good dancer. I said, okay, I'm not worried.
Oh, really? I didn't watch any of the solos, so I had no expectations going in. I was just prepared for the worst.
I would have preferred, there's a lot of girls from K-group that I would have preferred the center.
Yeah.
She's in that group. Actually, to be honest, I would have switched all three centers. I would have chose completely different girls.
I agree.
I feel like they're like, oh, she has skill and this and this. But we have all learned skill does not 100% matter in K-pop. Like, to be honest, and I'm biased because this is my number one girl. You know my number one girl.
Yeah.
She would have been the J group center. Go ahead.
I think that we haven't seen her performance yet, right?
I've seen her OOO video and it's enough.
Okay, so I was going to say that if the talent is there, because I haven't seen anything with her yet, assuming that the talent is there, I think that she could have been center, but not in this show. Not in this show.
Really?
Because, like, think about what you were saying earlier with the Japanese trainees. Like, they're trying to do that, you know,
like a fiercer.
Exactly.
Right?
They wouldn't have wanted her to be center.
Her vibe is different.
Exactly. It doesn't match the vibe that they're going for. So even if the talent was there, I think is Ezaki Hikaru or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I think that she was destined, not saying, oh, she's the best center, but I think that she would, just the follow-up to Produce 48, I think that she was destined to be the center for this show.
Shift.
Exactly.
Okay, I see,
and think about it, they had to, because if they put your girl in, put your girl in, they would have fried her up, comparing her to Sakura. They had to put someone with a completely different image of Sakura.
But she doesn't give Sakura to me.
But she doesn't give fierce.
You're right, but she's like soft and ooh, and she definitely is my taste. I can realize that. But my personal preference is that vibe. But we'll talk about her later because I can go on and on forever about her. Okay, so, and you can jump in at any moment. Which trainees are you looking forward to performing next episode? The ones we haven't seen.
Oh, I have one, and you're gonna hate me for this, but everyone else will love me for this. And this kind of matches someone who kind of shocked me in this show, and she didn't even perform. Is actually Yujin from CLC. So
I don't hate you, because
really
I'm looking forward to it as well.
Okay, so I was going to say that, like, remember how we were like watching the CLC fan cams and we were like, oh, she's kind of dry. She ain't really do much in CLC. And I was like, oh, she's not the one who's like red lit. No. That's the only member of CLC I was checking for. But in this episode, like when our homegirl, the Chinese girl, what's her name again? Yanning.
Why you keep calling her my homegirl? She's the N-word. She's my homegirl.
Okay, she's our homegirl, apparently, since she can say that word.
No, she ain't.
So, like, when they're doing the little diss thing or whatever, Yujin was actually kind of cute in her response.
Okay, so we're on the same page. We're on the same page because she won me over with how she responded.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. I said, okay. I like her. Actually, it was funny. I'm so glad you brought this up. I think now, thinking about this, because remember when we were eating a food and I was like, she doesn't need this show. She's been an idol for 7 years.
Yeah.
Thinking back to it now, I am okay with her being on the show now.
Yeah.
Because she didn't get the proper shine in CLC. And now seeing this here, maybe this is what she needed.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the girls that stood out in CLC were the chick that sound like Kiana, the red lab now girl, and Miss Racist from Thailand.
Yep.
And
I didn't know if you were going to say it, so I was like, don't forget about her homegirl.
Racist. and she never apologized for her actions. Well, no, she did, but it was
no, she didn't. She said it's just a joke. Chill, guys.
No, and then she later said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean blah blah blah." But it was already after the fact, so it just doesn't matter to me. And I'm sorry. I know a lot of K-pop fans will overlook certain things, but I won't, and I'm going to say this reason why. Korea has one of the fastest internets in the world. One, they are connected. They have producers from Spain, Italy, America. The world produces K-pop, okay? Yeah. So K-pop is an international industry.
Absolutely.
So there's no excuse for people like Hwasa to be, yes,
our African queen.
You're African queen. To be so wrong and like the amount of apologies, it's just like I don't appreciate. But like, say for example, and I know I'm getting off topic and if you don't have the same views, it's fine. But the moment apologies that they give is just BS to me. Versus if someone from like the Western entertainment industry said something remotely not offensive, but not 100% with Korean views, they were just like, "Oh, we don't like this. We don't like this." It's a double standard thing, and I'm not here for it. I can be a K-pop fan, but still like hold people accountable to this being decent human beings. That's my opinion. So Fuyawning, no, that's my thing. Anyway, sorry, I got off topic. Sorry, but I think it was important to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're okay. So Yujin, we're both looking forward to seeing. Inaba Vivienne, I'm ready for you, girl. I'm ready. I saw you stand on stage and I was like, yep, she's about to do something good.
I was so worried because like when I first started watching the episode, it felt like they were going to show every performance, but then I got to the part where they started skipping some. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Robbie, they're going to skip your girl. I just know it.
I'm worried about that too because they didn't show her in a little preview for season episode 2.
Oh man.
But here's the deal. They skipped, even though that season was rigged, they skipped like Minju's like kind of full performance. They just showed that she was bad and they moved on. So I'm like, okay, and I feel like she's giving Minju vibes.
Okay, so there's still a chance, even if they do skip it.
Even if they do skip it, like they also skipped a lot of Haewon's performance. Just like, okay, bad girl, move on. So I feel like as long as she does her thing in the like cover challenge, unless they do some weird stuff, but they won't because it's produced. If she does her thing in the cover challenge, it's fine. And on top of that, the amount of Arab for Vivienne like, Instagram accounts, it's just like follow me. I'm like, okay, well, the lead seems to really like her.
Wait, why does she have a lot of Arab fans?
I don't know, nor do I care. But they're translating
as long as it's
everything. They're translating everything in their language, and I'm like, she's gonna get that Middle Eastern vote.
Oh, maybe that's perfect.
Maybe she has that face.
Actually, she kind of does. She kind of does now that I think about it. She does have that image.
So I feel like, okay, I don't really care how she gets her fans, as long as she gets them. Miss Click Clack Alley Cat. Love her. Okay. So next question. Current hopes for the group, concept, promotions, how, like, just from what we see currently, what do you hope the vibe that the 9 girls that get in go towards?
So this is what I think that they might do. I feel like they're going to have multiple concepts. Like, think like how Red Velvet has their red and their velvet. And then Bon Bon Girls is actually similar. They have this, I think they're supposed to have like a sweet and a spicy concept because it's like, sweet as in candy, but the candy's still hard, so they're tough.
Like those red spicy ones?
Yeah, well, I think that's the point of their name. They're like sweet and hard. That's why they're called Bon Bon Girls.
About that. I just thought, okay,
they explained it, but we just weren't checking for all that when they did. I think our girl was already eliminated. So yeah, so I think that because they chose Hikaru as center, they might put another fierce girl in there, and 2 fierce girls is enough for them to want to, I think, at least split the concept a little bit.
I don't want not a single fierce girl in this group at all.
What?
I don't want to say. I have one in my current lineup, but she's a real placeholder. Like, she's only there because she did decent, and that is it.
My placeholder's not replaced.
I mean, you'll see how my lineup is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hope they basically do a concept like that, like a split. Yeah.
Kind of like IZ*ONE, where they did like Swan, and then they went back, but it'll be more in line of Red Velvet, but like kind of what like they try to do with IZ*ONE, like different flavors of this kind of. Yeah. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, IZ*ONE it's kind of different flavors, but it was still one thing. I feel like Red Velvet is the closest to what I'm thinking, at least.
Which trainees do you think deserve more spotlight?
Ooh. I don't know. It's hard to tell now. It's hard to tell.
I'll go ahead and say Inaba Vivienne deserved more spotlight.
She didn't even perform yet.
But I wanted her. You know what's funny? Remember that guy who got into 101 with the nose? He was the oldest. He was the leader.
I don't care about these boy groups.
I understand, but here's my thing. He got a lot of votes, not because he was good, but because of his reactions.
Really?
Yes. So I wanted her to be like, oh, wow. I wanted them to keep cutting to her because those matter.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
Because it's not just about you being good. It's about you being a personality.
Yeah.
And she gave me what I needed from her promotional videos. And I'm just like, no. And like, that's just how I feel. I feel like they could have given my girl some spotlight. Like, you casted her for a reason. So let us at least see her. But even still, to be fair, she got more screen time than some. And surprisingly, someone was like, after episode 1, my ranking, and she's still high for quite a few people on Twitter. So I was like, yeah, okay, well, all right. I'm just putting out here because she's my number 1. Which girls do you think are overhyped?
Ooh. I need to think about all the performances. Who do you think is overhyped? Let me think.
From pre-promotion to episode 1.
Oh. No, okay. In my opinion, from what I've seen, no one was checking for the Korean Center, and no one is checking for her to this day. And even though no one was checking for her back then, and no one's checking for her to this day, I still think that she's overhyped. She doesn't need any more screen time because she's dry. She's too dry. She doesn't need.
I'm sorry to her fans. I do not see her making.
Yeah, she's gonna be the first Korean Center that probably will not get into this group. I think because Yujin.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think that Yujin is gonna claim her spot because
I feel she's not gonna make it past the third.
Past the first elimination.
Sorry. She's not gonna make it past she'll make it to the concept challenge, and that's where she finishes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, that's where I see her ending.
I can see that. Well, it depends on the voting too, because maybe if they when you do the concept challenge, how does the voting work? Do they still perform that live, right?
They perform it live. Here's the deal. Unless the crowd is giving her those bonus points, which we'll see how that works.
It would have to be. It would have to be the crowd.
That's how it skews the votes of those bonus points. But I don't see K-Nets or international fans talking about her.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's really behind Yujin.
And if people are in when I see the top 9 on Twitter, if she is in the top 9, I've never seen her in the top 5. So it seems like she's just a placeholder for people pretty much.
Because not everyone knows their favorites yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we gonna say who we really want to say?
Who?
You know who we want to say. We gotta be honest.
Who? Our white girl?
Yes. Oh,
wait, isn't that what she is? Isn't she mixed?
Yeah, she's mixed, but dang.
Yeah, you know what? They gave her little reactions this episode, but
they gave her more reactions than she needed. That's what I'm talking about. They wanted to make sure you kept looking at her. And I was just like, she said, enough. Go cut to other girls.
She was tired of that camera on her.
And that's how they skewer the votes.
Yeah.
My girl's going to get in the Do Young way, where Do Young from Iowa got no screen time, but somehow ended up in the group.
Wow.
And that group wasn't like rigged.
Yeah.
They only like took 2 people out in like the first like elimination, but I think those 2 girls just wanted to leave the show. So for the most part, season 1 wasn't rigged. Everything past season 1 was rigged, guys. Mm-hmm. But season 1 for the most part really wasn't manipulated. They only claim it was manipulated because 2 girls wanted to leave, and so they let 2 other girls like move on. But that's kind of fair since like those spots.
Yeah, I think that's fair completely.
But point being, my Vivienne's going to get in the Do Young way. I'm putting it out here now.
Mm-hmm.
But just being consistent or just being liked. And she already has little fans, so we're going to make it happen. Okay, cool.
Oh my gosh, imagine if for her performance the next episode, she clacks on stage the same way she was clacking on stage in her little PR video.
But she has tennis shoes on, so I don't...
it's tennis shoes? Yeah. Oh, man.
When she clacked, I'll be like, oh, yes.
Clacking. Is it pre-recorded, just like the camera snapping sound effects?
Y'all need to check out Inaba Vivienne's PR video. Maybe it's just my sense of humor, but she gave me what I needed. It was awkward.
Don't worry. I plan to put it into this video.
Oh, great. I keep using it on Twitter. So good. It's so good. Okay, cool. So I think we've kind of finished all my questions except one.
Okay.
Cool. So top 9 time. Top 9.
Oh, top 9.
You're gonna go first.
I'm gonna go first.
Oh wait, I put up the website. I don't know if you want to take some time to do it.
I took a screenshot, so I'm gonna share my screen.
Oh, great.
So let's review my top 9.
Really?
No, this is the original, episode 0.
Oh,
no,
okay.
This is the original. I said let's review.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Let's review the top 9. So
I got real upset with your number 1.
Oh no. No. Yeah, okay. So my top 3, the top 3 Japanese girls is a Japanese center, Momoko, and your homegirl Vivienne.
Yes, you should.
Yep, top 3 China, Shen Xiaoting, my homegirl, Ruiqi, and they pronounce it Cai Bing, I think. So I guess it's pronounced Cai Bing. And then these 3, I'm gonna be honest, placeholders. Okay, so I guess we're gonna see the new top 9.
I'm just gonna send my original top onto my computer. Really?
Yeah, my new top 9.
Oh, my girl got down to 9.
Yes, she did. No. I'm so sorry. So I think that I already told you that Ruiqi is like my 1 pick right now. Like, not just China 1 pick, like in general, she's just my 1 pick out of everyone here. Okay. And I still like the Japanese center, still like the China center too. And I liked Yoon Jia before. She was my other pick, but her performance, I don't even remember what she performed, but she was in a duo group, I think. I think she did that NCT song with the other one.
Oh, New Things?
Yeah, that song.
I feel bad for those girls because if they did a feminine song, I would probably have been here for it, but I'm like, oh, we're doing boy group songs?
Yeah, that's why sometimes you have to wait until the first performance to really, pick. And then, so this is the chick who was in she was in Chuang. And I think she was friends with there was one person in Chuang that they tried to make her like the comedic relief, and they're like, the joke was pretty much, oh, she likes to eat or something like that. That was annoying because she was actually talented, but she's not in the show. But I think that's her friend. I think like they're in the same company or something like that. I don't know. But she performed in the Eyes One group.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Violetta.
Okay.
And I liked her. She was cute. She was like really tall, and I liked her ears, and her hair looked really elegant. Like she's really tall. She has like a really small face. I was like, she looks real good. She would look good in a group. And then Yurina, who the judges liked her too. And number 7, I forgot what she performed, but she was in a 3-way group and she had a really nice voice. It must have, was it Black Mamba? I don't remember. I don't know. She performed some songs this episode and she had a real nice voice. And this Choi chick, she also had a nice voice. Basically, I like them because they can sing. They can carry the vocals because everyone else in this group is about to be a rapper, to be honest. Apparently. I didn't know that Shen Xiaoting was going to be a rapper. And I still have your girl in here, and she's not a placeholder. This is my genuine top 9. I got rid of all my placeholders. I think I replaced my entire Korean line probably in like one Japanese and one Chinese girl.
So you're really feeling that Japanese center?
Yeah, I still like her.
Wow.
But to be honest, if she doesn't get into the group, I'm not going to cry about it though.
Right.
Like she ain't my one pick.
She's just too grand for me. And that's because I don't like groups like that.
This is actually the reason why I like her. I do like her fierceness, but in the show, I felt like when she wasn't performing, she was really cute. And I feel like low-key, she can, you know how Oh My Girl, I think the rapper Mimi is like technically fierce.
Okay.
I feel like I can imagine her in a cute or elegant or feminine group because I can see her fitting like the same way that the rapper in Oh My Girl still fits Oh My Girl. I can see her fitting that image.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So there you go. But you know, my Chinese girl here is still my one pick so far. And I'm glad she won that little competition. She got the most votes. So
right.
Finally, someone I like is popular too. She.
Well, my girl's a slow burn. All right.
Yeah, we gotta wait for her to get her moment.
All right.
So this is your original top 9.
Okay. Yes, my original top 9. A lot of these girls are placeholders.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even know these people for real.
But what's funny is that a few of them still stayed in my top.
Really? As placeholders?
Yeah. Well, only one is a placeholder
now.
Right.
Okay. Look at them looking like Promise 9.
But that's why I like that. Okay, so this is my current top.
Still Vivienne on top. Oh, you got Japanese girls in there.
Right. Now, this girl is still a placeholder. She's really crunchy dance-wise. I don't think she performed yet. But I like the pigtails.
Yeah.
And she's cute. She didn't have pigtails in her OOO video. She's not Vivienne outdanced her immensely. Yeah. Which is crazy because a model was actually getting it. So she's placeholder for me right now.
I think that she's popular though.
Okay. So Vivienne is my top. This click clack, camera flash, wowed me. Gave me. I kept going back to PR video. Like there's some energy here that needs to be explored.
I'm surprised that Yurina is in your top though.
We need someone to sing.
Oh no. They can sing though, can't they? Hold on. Let me look at who's here. You got at least three or 4 of these girls could sing, I think.
Yep, that's enough.
Yeah.
So good singer, interesting vocal, all-rounder to me.
Yeah, she is.
All-rounder as well.
Yep.
You are only here because I can't deny you a spot. You're the unbee right now.
Not the unbee.
No one could deny her a spot.
Yeah.
It's like, if we don't give it to you, it's kind of wrong because you're good. My girl, Miss
Over.
Top tier. Here's the deal. I would like 3 from each group, but so far the C group they aren't my cup of tea at this moment in time. Yeah. That is bound to change.
Definitely, because my one pick hasn't performed yet.
You see, our one picks haven't performed yet.
Exactly.
But she's probably going to do good. She's doing Chunga, from what it seems like.
Oh, really?
This girl is probably going to change, but she's only here as a placeholder, and her visual fits what I like. Okay. Now, Choi Yujin has made it to my top.
Wow.
She is lower tier right now, but I think I like humble girls. And I was having a talk with one of our friends, and she was like, you see, you don't like the cocky girls. I don't. And so that's a big thing for me. But she wasn't cocky. She was very polite. She was very professional. And so I was like, okay. All right.
I like this group though, because now they're giving me Cosmic Girls instead of Promise 9.
Really?
Yeah.
Now here's the deal.
I like this new image.
She's crunchy. I know this. All right.
Every group needs a little crunch.
I like her. She wasn't able to sing, but like from where she was in OOO to Rumor was definite improvement. Her vibe has gotten better. So she's shown to me she's trainable. This girl might no longer be in my lineup as well as this one. But I would like it to be 3-3-3.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I hope she makes it to the second round. I hope she does.
You know what? I think that she will.
But if it's between her or her, I'm going to have to go Vivienne.
Vivienne is definitely still your one pick right now.
One pick. Someone has to be giving me unique energy to change that.
Mm-hmm.
So far, no.
But it would have to be a lot, because I feel like once you choose someone from the beginning, it's going to be really hard to. Mm-hmm. Well, if you choose someone from the beginning and then like you see the performances and you still love what they do, like they give it to you, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then yeah.
Here's the deal. She gave me what I needed in the OOO, so I was like, all right, I'm on board.
Yeah, that's exactly what Ruiqi did for me, because at first I wasn't checking for her, but I was like, okay, let me see what she has going on, and she threw her little ace card.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No, Ruiqi is not as fierce as the Japanese center, though.
They both are giving me too much for me.
No, not too much.
Could you see that girl doing something soft?
Yeah. Well, let me not, because I am comparing her to Wonka and Chuang, and Wonka, she did vibes. Like, they're similar to me. She did she was fierce in the beginning, and then like I think the second performance she did like a softer ballad or something like that, and I didn't think she could pull it off, but then she did. I need to go back and watch her in Chuang to see if she can do your Promise 9 flavor though.
From Wonka art was like had a cuter image. Like she just had to unbraid her hair. The styling could fix it.
She always felt kind of fierce to me.
Because we know who she is. But I mean, I don't mind it. That your girl, I don't know about that one.
I'm gonna force her into your top 9. I'm gonna snatch your phone as soon as voting opens on August 13th. And then just be like, yep.
So that's my top 9. Oh, what are we hoping for the next episode?
I hope that my girl gets a lot of screen time.
Same. I hope they don't skip Vivienne, because there's energy there.
Yeah.
There's energy there. There's energy there. You can't click clack and not give her screen time.
And she needs it more than my girl. I think that my girl will at least make it to the concept challenge. Will she get into the group? I don't know.
I'm pushing. I'm saying it in the universe. I'm not going to say no negativity. Vivienne is the dark horse. She's going to get the Menju edit because they need a beautiful girl.
Yeah, it's what she deserves.
It's what she deserves. And if you go on Twitter, Japanese Twitter's like, we're going to make you famous, girl. And I'm like, great.
This is the other thing, though. I was just starting to talk about how I think that my girl will make it to the end, but I don't know. It's like it's hard to tell until we see the first rankings, because are the Koreans gonna vote for a single Chinese person?
They have more power than us.
Yeah, they have a lot of power.
More power than us, because it's like 50% Korean, 50% international. But it's like, okay, they're all gonna, in my opinion, a lot of them are gonna vote similar. So that's a strong vote. All of us international fans have very different opinions.
Very different.
But I hope Saudi Arabia pops off, that Middle East pops off.
Yeah.
And gives Vivienne that vote, because we gonna need it.
Man, I don't know. That's kind of why I feel like when it gets down to the one pick, I don't want to like waste my vote on a Korean person, because I feel like the Korean people got the Korean. They don't need us. I feel like it's the Chinese and the Japanese girls that need us when it comes down to the one pick.
And I'm not, nothing political. I am looking more so just from my taste at the Japanese girls and my one Chinese pick.
Mm-hmm.
Because crunchy girls need a little help. And I know it's problematic, and other people want to say, you can pick a girl that can sing. And I'm like, where were y'all when Haewon got in? When Sohei got in? I mean, Sohei was deserving. Love Haewon. But here's the deal. You know, people gonna hate me. I preferred Haewon over Minju. I like Minju now.
Well, you already know Haewon is my bias, so.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I liked her because she was a sweet girl.
Yeah.
And that's enough. And I mean, again, my girl, Miss what's her name? Miss Chen. Miss
over.
Oh, great. You great. And she said, I said, oh wow, that she's doing it. But yeah, that was good. I think we covered everything, right?
I think so.
Final.
I wanted to add something else, but
please,
I don't know.
Please, no, go ahead.
Final thoughts, man.
Well, add your thought that you had before.
No, I don't remember what I was going to say.
You're gonna go to.
Oh yes, I know. I do know what I was going to say. I was going to say that I thought that I would be looking forward to seeing the Japanese girls in this show, but actually, I feel like the Chinese girls have been more interesting so far from what we've seen. They have a lot of flavor, especially the twins. They're weird.
Our tastes are different because I like the Japanese girls more.
See, the Japanese girls, the thing about the Japanese girls is that I feel like as a collective, they're not doing anything for me. There's just a handful, you know what I mean? Like maybe the top 4 that I like them. But as a collective, they're kind of boring compared to Produce 48, honestly. So I feel like the Chinese girls are giving a little bit more flavor because we got the weird ass twins that's talking about you got to turn your head on this beat and they fucking that up.
About personalities. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I like the Japanese trainees a lot more because the Chinese ones, they're all too fierce. But not all of them. The majority of them are I just see them as, and maybe it's because a lot of them know that this program is their North Star. Like there is no programs like this in China anymore because Chuang and Youth With You have been canceled due to them pouring down food down the drains and Beijing's laws of food ordinance and blah, blah, blah. So they canceled all those survivaliships. Yeah. So, but anyway, I feel like they're just like, ah, and I'm like, I don't want none of this. I mean, Fu Yaning, all them girls, I mean, I don't want it. Sorry.
I can see that though, like they're being very aggressive and fierce because this is basically probably their last shot. And even if they don't see it as their last shot, it's still such an amazing opportunity that this is even happening. Because if you're Chinese and you step foot into K-pop, you can go back to China and that's just free money right there.
Right. It's like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for some of them.
Yeah, exactly.
The stakes are really high for them. I understand that.
Yeah, so.
But I don't know. And I don't mind like wanting it, but just the vibe they're giving, I'm not a fan of Girl Crush. It's just not me. I think it's been overplayed. I think Girl Crush is at its top tier with 21 and everyone else is like let's do that. And it just got out of hand. And the artistry is gone and it's like souls. That's how I feel. I feel a lot of girls will get pushed into the concept. Luna, don't fit it. So I'm over it. And I just want honesty.
I really think that 4Minute and 21 disbanding kind of left that market open. And then Blackpink really is the group that pushed it over the edge where everyone's like, oh, okay, we can get Girl Crush. We can do Girl Crush and get money from this. And now it's like, that's like the only concept now, but it's not. And it's not just concept, but it's like, oh, that's the only sounds that we can have, like just loud noises, no chorus, beat drops. Like we don't have to do all of that.
Yeah. It's just
every single time. Yeah.
I feel like the artistry has left it.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion.
And I guess that's why I feel like, oh, if this group was Girl Crush a little bit, I wouldn't mind just because it's Mnet and I feel like they would make it good music. They wouldn't do Girl Crush like the Blackpink style, which is the trend now. They would do.
I have to see it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. But no, the J girls have been given. I'm just like, oh, and maybe just because I like the vibe that a lot of the J trainees have.
Yeah.
Just from them just being like, you know, I mean, except Hikaru, she seems like she would pull out a pocket knife and, you know, she just seems very fierce. Not saying she would attack anyone, I'm just saying, you know.
She looks like she can beat someone up.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to meet her in a dark alley walking home late at night. And I just feel like she'd be like, give me your money, pay me. Like whatever the lyrics were in that Blackpink song, pay me. And everyone was like, wow.
I liked how she delivered that part though.
She was cute. Not my type of girl.
Not your type of cute.
She's not cute to me. She not visually. I'm just saying,
yeah.
I feel bad for saying this. I don't want to crush anyone's dreams. I do not want her in this group. And that's how I feel. I don't want a hard group. I don't want to. I just over-aggression.
We don't want noise, none of that nonsense.
I just am tired of it. Like, Luna left a beautiful concept to be noise. I just don't want a produce group to be noise. I would hate to not have a group to stand.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. I think we covered it all. This is a really good conversation.
Yeah. I mean, we only saw half the performances, so.
Yeah, true. The only sad thing about Mnet is that they'll show who they want to show.
Yeah.
And they'll cut who they want to cut. But it's okay. Because all of us fans will promote the girls we want to promote. That's the beautiful thing about these shows. So I think we covered it. Thank you all for listening to the Planet Guardian podcast. This has been Robbie and Aneesa. Tune in next week for more controversial opinions. Anything you want to add?
No, but I can make it spicier depending on people's reactions.
Okay, so hit the like button. If we get, 50 likes, Aneesa will make it spicier. Got to set goals.
50 likes and I'll talk about more spicy controversial opinions.
She'll talk about why she likes Kwasa.
She's our African queen, African Indian queen.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.